The camera fades in on a dusty road in a small, forgotten village. A young boy, maybe 8 years old, walks barefoot across cracked earth. His name is Hamza. His feet are scarred and hardened from years of walking without shoes, but there's a light in his eyes that even the hottest sun cannot dim. In that village, everyone knew Hamza. Not because he was wealthy, not because he had anything others desired, but because of how he carried himself. His face was always bright with a smile. His laugh would echo through the alleys, despite the holes in his clothes and the emptiness of his stomach. One morning, as the sun broke through the sky in streaks of gold and crimson, Hamza knelt beside his sick mother. She coughed, her frail hand trembling as she touched his cheek. "Hamza," she whispered, her voice almost gone, "you don't have much in this world, but never let that change your heart." Hamza nodded, holding her hand tighter. She didn't have long left, he could feel it. But he wasn't the kind of boy who would let sadness drown him. His days passed working odd jobs. He carried water buckets for people twice his size, helped farmers harvest crops, and gathered firewood from the nearby woods. Every coin he earned went straight to buy medicine or food for his mother. One afternoon, while returning from the market with nothing but a single piece of bread in his hand, Hamza noticed an older man sitting beneath a tree. The man looked like a traveler. His shoes were torn, his clothes dusty, and his face sunburnt. Hamza paused. The man didn't ask for anything, but something inside Hamza stirred. He walked over, tore the bread in half, and offered a piece. "I don't have much, sir, but maybe this will help," Hamza said with a shy smile. The man's eyes glistened as he accepted it, nodding in gratitude. Days turned into weeks. Life remained hard. Hamza's mother eventually passed, her hand in his, whispering her last prayer for her son. He buried her himself under a simple tree, tears soaking the earth. Yet, he did not curse his fate. Now alone, Hamza continued working. Barefoot, hungry, yet still offering help to others whenever he could. A child dropped her toy in the mud, Hamza would clean it. An old woman couldn't carry her basket, Hamza would step in. Years passed like this. Hamza grew into a teenager, still walking those same dusty roads with bare feet. But now he was known beyond his village. Travelers would pass through and tell stories of the boy with no shoes, yet a heart richer than any king's. One day, as the sun set in hues of deep purple and orange, a large black car rolled into the village, a sight no one had seen before. Windows tinted, tires clean. The door opened, and out stepped a man in a crisp suit, polished shoes glinting under the fading light. The village gathered, whispering in wonder. The man looked around until his eyes found Hamza, standing there in his usual tattered clothes, still barefoot. "You," the man said, voice steady, "do you remember me?" Hamza frowned, trying to recall. The man smiled gently. Years ago, under a tree, a boy shared his bread with a stranger. Suddenly, Hamza remembered. His eyes widened. The man stepped closer, placing a hand on Hamza's shoulder. "That boy saved my life that day. I was lost, hungry, sick. Today, I've returned to repay what can never truly be repaid." The man introduced himself as Malik. Since that fateful day, Malik had risen to become a successful businessman. Yet he had never forgotten the boy with no shoes and a golden heart. In front of the entire village, Malik made a declaration. He had purchased land nearby and would build a school, a hospital, and new homes for the villagers. And at the center of it all, a grand house, for Hamza. Tears filled everyone's eyes as they watched Malik remove his own polished shoes, placing them before Hamza. "You may not have had shoes," Malik said, voice thick with emotion, "but your heart carried more wealth than all my banks combined." The camera pans out as the village erupts in applause and cheers. Hamza stands there quietly, his head bowed, tears streaking his dusty face. He never asked for riches, but kindness had brought them to him. And as the screen fades to black, the final words appear. True wealth is not measured by what we wear or own, but by what we give.